Nothing if not efficient. Here I am at 11 o'clock. Happy Sunday, everyone. I always find that it's weird, this idea of doing an Instagram live, because you sit here, as soon as you go live, you sit here for a bit waiting for people to know that you're that you're actually live. Yeah. Hello, everybody. So, happy Sunday. It is glorious here. It's not exactly the loveliest of days outside. It's a little overcast, I think is the word today. But thanks for joining. So what I wanted to do on a Sunday was, hey, look, there's waving and stuff. So what I thought I would do every Sunday at 11. Now, bearing in mind, this is a commitment that is very loose right now, okay? Because Sunday normally is my special oh look, someone's up watching cricket, and watching cricket, I'm a little bit jealous of watching cricket and having breakfast. 11 o'clock in the morning, I think you should do nothing other than enjoy the fact that you are alive. I hope you're all in your pajamas. It's probably a good way. This is a one-way thing. But I thought it might be nice to, on a Sunday, that we all get together and I have a little chat. I might say some things that are controversial. I'm not. I quite like being the cat among the pigeons, I have to say. But, and we'll share some thoughts, and we'll do a few other little bits and bobs as well. But hello, everybody. Look, we've got waving from. I always find Valerie L. Evet 1727. Crikey, you're old. Karen, hello, Karen. But so I wondered how your week was going. But of course you can't tell me, so I'm going to tell you all about my week. I got bitten by a horsefly for the first time ever in my life. Now, I know all about horseflies. They're those little... Because you know what's really weird? So Marley, the little dog, when the horseflies fly around, he acts differently. He knows that they're like, ooh, and they get a bit spooky. They kind of run off and do other things and run away from it. Because it's like they must fly at a frequency or something. If you have ever been bitten by a horse, it is like being attacked by a shark. I mean, it is, if any of you, I now know what childbirth feels like. It is so painful. I can take pain, but my word, it's like they don't sting, they bite, they rip a chunk of your flesh out. It is phenomenal. So I've got this, and it's not really swollen. So I'm not going to do the whole I've got a swelling in my trousers thing. That's not happening today. It's Sunday, it's too early. Can we all just calm down a bit? But this horsefly snatched a chunk out of basically took my leg off. And my word, they're flipping painful. So if you've ever been eaten by a horsefly, huge sympathy for you. So that's how my week went. I went to my dad's house last night. And had a little party for his partner's 60th, and Mr. Wonderful came with me. Everybody loves Mr. Wonderful. Do you know what I might do on these little Sundays? Hey everybody, look, Tree. Hello Tree. Hello B Spring 89. I might bring in Mr. Wonderful onto these Sunday lives, but let me know what you feel about that. If you just want it to be us, that's cool. We can have our little secret Sunday thing. But I thought Mr. Wonderful might want to be a part of it and ask me some questions. Anyway, so I'm here at my best friend's house. They've gone out because that's the sort of social person that I am. Go to people's houses and say, would you mind going out? Because I'd quite like to use your house for my Instagram live. Somebody said to me this morning, their dog is Happy as Larry. Who is Larry? Where did Happy as Larry come from? Who is Larry, and why the hell is he so happy? I'm all for people being happy, but I want to know why Mr. Larry is so happy and what it was that made him so happy. So if you know where the phrase Happy as Larry came from, because I'm a real stickler for stuff like that. In my book, in Flip the Switch, I wrote about a very famous phrase that lots of people use. Between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our freedom. The power is in that space is our power to choose our something and our freedom. And it's often attributed to Viktor Frankl, who I talk about a lot. Hey everybody, hey Alex, hey Barnaby, hello. And it's not, it was never written by Viktor Frankl. It was never written by, it's never written by him. He never said it. There's sort of variations of it. So I'm quite hot on fact checking, and I've been a victim of it myself. I even wrote it in my book and I credit it to somebody who didn't even say it. So if you know where Happy as Larry came from, I would like to find out. But more importantly, I'd like to know why he was so bloody happy. What was it? Because we should all find out about that. If you've got a reputation for being happy as Larry, we should definitely find that out. Anyway, so listen, it's big gardening time. These Sunday sessions, Elevenses with me. If you've got tea, by the way, I've got the most amazing. This is Twining's chai tea today. And it is, isn't this mug gorgeous? This is my best mate's mug. But it is, if you've not tried Twining's chai, it is really good, like really good. It's almost a bit amaretto-y. Is that a word, amaretto-y? I don't know what it is now. Yeah, it's good. So let me know what you're up to on this Sunday. But I thought I'd real quick talk about the garden because we're going to get to some sort of pet hates and possibly a little bit of government bashing today as well. It's my Instagram live. I'll do what I want. But you can, we can do what we want on these Instagram lives. You can let me know what you want to do on them. Oh, Yorkshire tea. Yeah, I used to drink a lot of Yorkshire tea. Do you know what? You cannot be. It has to be loose leaf though, right? It has to be loose leaf. Like this is in a bag because I'm at a friend's house, and I do eat a bag. Do you know what? I don't eat a bag. I do drink bags, but the best tea I've got at the minute is a company called Brew Tea Company. Really good teas. Their chai is not amazing, but their English breakfast tea is fantastic. They got a special offer. It's not a sponsored post. I wish it was. But anyway, so here's my point. Seeds. So it's not going to be a sort of gardening-y sort of podcast. Oh, a milky oolong, Karen. Oh, I'm a bit of a fan of an oolong. Isn't oolong white tea? Like it's oolong white tips, isn't it? That's a kind of an odd thing. Milky. I've never had milky and oolong. Anyway, somebody recently was saying how expensive it was, that their garden was going over. One of my friends was saying, have you got any tips for what I can do? Because all of the summer flowers have started going over. And we've been, cutting all the dead stuff out. And I thought, oh no, like if you're cutting the dead stuff out, that's where the free flowers are. And I'm going to do another video to show you which flowers are really good this time of the year. Probably in the week I'll do it. If not, we'll save it for next Sunday, but I'll probably do it in the week. Because there's tons of flowers, like poppies, of course, are amazing. I planted a whole bed. It's just got poppies in it. And of course, if you let the poppy heads dry, and there are loads of flowers that you can take cuttings of, hang them upside down, let them dry, and you've got free seeds. So we're going to talk a bit about that because it's nuts that you should be spending any money on the garden this time of year. You should save your money for a rainy day or something. What's that all about? Why should you always save your money for rainy days? Why do people never spend any money on sunny days? Everybody I know spends money on sunny days, on like ice creams and stuff and going out. But anyway, so these Sunday sessions, the idea is that we get together, we chat about whatever we want. You can tell me what you want to chat about. That's absolutely fine as well. And I thought I'd rant about a couple of things. So I'm going to start today. I'm going to start with my pet hates. And I would like to know what your pet hates are. So you can put them in the comments. I'm going to give you 3 of mine. Wire coat hangers. I'm moving house. I'm going to make an official announcement later on. But I'm moving from the farm. And so I'm going through stuff, getting rid of stuff that I don't want to move, making it cheaper to move, yada, yada, yada. Don't want to take loads of stuff that you don't need. And I found 4 or 5 wire coat hangers. Lord alive, who came up with wire coat hangers? And what the heck, like other than if you've got a 1990 Ford Sierra and you want to repair the aerial, or if you're, I don't know, a cat burglar and you need something handy to pick a lock. They sag, the clothes, they bend on the clothes, they're no good thing, they last 3 minutes. Pointless bloody things. Kinks in hose pipes really get my goat as well. And it's always at the other end, the kink is never near you. Like you pull the hose pipe out and then you put the water on, you pull it a little bit more, the water doesn't work, you look back, there's like 15 feet behind you, there's a kink in it like a miles away. Why does it never kink right near you? Anyway, hello Jammy. Hello TS Life. And then the other thing that's really got me going this week, and I had it so much recently, it's beginning to really annoy me. When you can't, like I'm not a violent person, I hate watching violence, hate physical violence, but when you just can't help but think, gosh, I could be really physically violent to you. Some people just need like a high five around the face with a chair leg. I've met a couple of those people this week. I just hate rudeness, rude people. I was in the post office. I had like 4 or 5 parcels in a queue. Somebody in front of me, I was behind them. And this woman just like rocked up and stood sort of a bit in front of me, and I thought, well, I give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, she might be doing something else. And just walked ahead when the guy in front of me had gone and like asked for stamps and stuff and completely ignored me. And I said, oh, excuse me, there's a queue. And I happened to be in it. Completely ignored me. There's no need for rudeness, is there? Like you sit here on a Sunday and you reflect in the week and you think, oh, those are the things you should get rid of, right? Those are the people you just think, I'm going to sack those people from my brain. I'm having nothing to do with the rude people. But then rudeness kind of, rude people goes in with people who moan, People that moan, moany people. I talk a lot about people in life who are slinkies. You come across people and I think, God, you're such a slinky. Slinkies, the spring, that toy, that kind of spring thing, right? And slinkies, just like the people who are slinkies, not really good for anything, but a whole lot of fun if you push them down the stairs, right? And I always think, that's people, isn't it? That's those people. They're not really good for anything, but they'd be a lot of fun if you push them down the stairs. Now, I'm not advocating that. I'm not saying you should go push people down the stairs. I'm not sort of, trying to get some sort of little, slinky cult or something. But I'd hate to be the person everybody wants to be physically violent towards, wouldn't you? But they exist. Anyway, what does Carol say? Food packets that don't pull open like they're supposed to. Oh my God. You know what the worst of those are? Is the ones with the key. Like corned beef. And you do one key and it goes snap and you're like, great. Well, that's great. Now I'm locked out. Or this is a thing and there's nothing worse than being locked out of your own corned beef tin. How do you get in? What's the point in putting the key there? I'd happily pay 12 pence less for a tin of corned beef. That's like once in 15 years I eat corned beef, but I know there was something else that had a key, or like sardines or something. I don't eat fish anymore. If you've seen Seaspiracy, right, you'll never eat fish again. Anyway, what was I talking about? This is why I need a handler. This is why Mr. Wonderful needs to be here to kind of keep me on. Oh, baked beans. Yeah, that's true. So I'd rather pay less for that and have a tin opener that opens the bloody beans. Hey, I think I've started this all wrong, gang. This idea is not for me to have a rant on a Sunday. Like, Sunday's supposed to be peaceful and lovely, have a cup of tea and a little chat, and we talk about nice things. Now look what's happened. You've opened up the floodgates, and now we're talking about things that annoy us. Excuse me, it's a bit burpy. So what we should do is talk about lovely stuff. The problem, when you talk about love, I suppose, is that hand in hand goes, there's an awful lot of stuff that isn't love. So I was reflecting on that today. I thought, what do I want these Sunday sessions to be? Well, I want them to be positive. I want them to be really lovely. And I'd love for us to kind of, I'm going to show you around some stuff. But not today, because it's my friend's house. That would be inappropriate. Although they're out. Oh, we could do like a Lloyd Grossman thing and like go and rummage through drawers, couldn't we? And go, oh, what's in this drawer? Oh, what's in this drawer? What's in this cupboard? They have a gorgeous house. I'm not going to show you around because it'd be inappropriate, but it is just lovely. It's very inspirational. Tin openers and Mitchell photography, tin openers that don't work. That's another ridiculous thing, right? But you'd think like this is a really simple thing, isn't it? Like if you're going to sell something, it's like Mr. Wonderful bought some milk this week, but milk with a Y, M-Y-L-K, like a plant-based milk. And they're not allowed to call it milk. The person who owns his house has just said, don't look in the top drawer. Again, don't look in the top drawer again. So he bought some milk, and it tasted gross, like really gross. And I thought, well, how do you make something and not sit around a table and say, hey, we're going to like make this product and, sell it. And then it's just grim. Like, how does that even, why would you do that? That's like being, I don't know, like coming up with a product that doesn't work and saying, oh, let's sell it. And then they say, it doesn't work. You think, well, then we should, hey, that's something we should do. I should tell you about the things that I bought that don't work so that you can you cannot buy them. That would be a really good thing. Anyway, so my point being, see what happens. I'm off on a tangent. We should make these sessions just about all of the positive stuff. Because I did think, what could I do? I know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about like love and, but particularly I want to talk about why we should love each other more. So I want to talk about anti-Semitism that I've experienced. I'm not Jewish, but I've, experienced, I have lots of Jewish friends. I've experienced racism and homophobia and the idea of love and hate. We should talk about that. And then I thought, but that's all negative, isn't it? There's so much negativity and we're made aware of it all the time that maybe actually I should reserve these sessions just to talk about the great stuff, because it's really easy to get carried away with being told just how bad humans are. It's really easy to look at the destruction and the war and the gross stuff that goes on. And those are really important things that we need to be aware of. I'm not saying that ignorance is bliss and that we should shy away from them. But at the same time, I think there needs to be balance. I think we need to have the opportunity to share in just how remarkable human beings are. You know, I was talking the other day to somebody, it might have been Mr. Wonderful actually, and we were saying, just isn't the world amazing? You know, the sunsets are incredible, the sunrises are incredible, the stars are amazing. Isn't the world incredible? And we had this news this last week of the fact that we're only a short period away now from like total obliteration of the world. You know, there's an environmental crisis coming, which means that we're basically the whole world's going to get wiped out. And I reflected on it a bit, and I thought, do you know what the really sad thing is? Okay, yes, our species is hugely plays a huge part in the responsibility for that. But the real sadness is, look at the stuff that we've created. Human beings have created this amazing bits of this world that we live in, the cool stuff that exists. Right? Human beings discovered hundreds of years ago that you could impregnate fabric with beeswax and use it to preserve like food and stuff. They thought of computers, they thought of being able to, like skyscrapers that don't fall over and stuff. The fact that you can walk upstairs in your house or walk on a ceiling and not fall through, that's a human being that came up with the idea of how the structure would. So that for me is the greatest tragedy, is that in all of our greatness, there's such an amazing amount of stupidity and sadness. But it's the usual thing, isn't it? Like when you look on Amazon reviews, those who have it worst shout loudest, right? So if those who have it worst shout loudest, then maybe we should try and drown out some of that noise in these Sunday sessions with Elevenses with me, and we should drink tea and talk about how wonderful many of the things are. Not to, disregard or negate the stuff that's bad, but, maybe we should celebrate a little bit more. So I figured there's a Buddhist philosophy. I was Buddhist, or practiced Buddhism for, I should say, it's probably more accurate, for about, 6 or 7 years, something like that. And I think there are still bits that really draw me to that as well. But my science brain can't deal with the whole reincarnation thing. I am not quite there. I could never get it. So I figured, well, you can't really practice Buddhism authentically if you don't believe that you're going to be reincarnated, because ultimately that's where it's all going. There's one trajectory for a period of enlightenment, and if you don't think that can happen, then you're sort of not really being true to yourself. So I decided that, I couldn't call myself that. But there's a phrase that is often attributed to Buddhism, which is what we think we become. And if your thinking is clouded with stress and mentality, seriously, Sunday, I'm not really used to working on a Sunday. If your thinking is clouded with stress and negativity and, I don't know, it's always everybody else's fault and there's stuff in your life that creates tension, that ultimately creates a big reflection on the way that you think and the way that you behave. So, it's our responsibilities and it's our choice to think about something differently and think about things in a way that might, make our lives be better and feel better. Hello, Helen. I think that's what these Sunday sessions are going to be. I think collaboratively, looking at the number of hearts that have gone up when I said that it would be about positive things. So instead of us talking about all of the negative stuff, today, for the last little bit, will only be about half an hour, and you can join in as much as you want. I think we will make them positive, and we'll talk today about love, because on the Human podcast, if you've not looked at that, by the way, you definitely should. So my friend Matt Boyles also happens to be my personal trainer, but he's very embarrassed about the incredible progress he's made with me, so he makes me wear baggy clothes to hide my incredibly ripped body, which is, it's understandable. I think he's modest, but some people you can't help, can you? So he said, please cover up the 27 pack and all of the Triceratops and stuff. So it doesn't, make me look too brilliant, which is fine. You should definitely go check it out. So it's new, which means that you can't find it very easily. So you need to search. You need to go wherever you get your podcasts and search for Human Podcast Jez Rose or Human Podcast Matt Boyles or whatever. And you'll find it. And I think we're only episode 2, or 3 in. But this week is about love. They're weekly. And we chat about different human themes, about what it means to be human and different things that we should think about being human. So, here's the thing. I wonder if, based on that old kind of Buddhist mentality, that what we think we become, I wonder if, actually, we should think about a choice that we make this next week about the thing that we're going to focus on more often. And I wonder if maybe there's a way for us all really simply as human beings to not get bogged down with the negativity. Yes, it happens. There's a difference between the things that you need to detract your attention to. If somebody gets knocked over in the street, naturally your attention immediately shifts to that, and I think that's understandable. But because you see a headline that is negative or depressing, or because somebody's talking about something that is, not necessarily very positive, it doesn't mean to say our attention has to be detracted to that and that we have to consume our attention in our life with that. We get the choice to either zone out, remove ourselves, or not involve ourselves in that and say, well, actually this week I'm going to focus on all of the good stuff, because the bad stuff is getting far too much attention, and we're not allowing ourselves to perhaps focus on the good things that we are really good at, and we're not allowing ourselves the good things that humanity and other human beings, our friends and our colleagues, our fellow humans have achieved. So yeah, maybe this week, and I think mine's going to be love. I'm going to think about different ways that I can exhibit love more. I'm going to think about ways that I can think about showing other people that I care about and then I love them. Because love has different levels, right? The way that you love your parents is different to the way that you love your partner, I would hope. The way that you love your postman, I don't think I love my postman. I did really like one of my other postmans, but I don't think I've ever really loved a postman. But you can, the way that you love your animals is different to the way that you love your house, for example. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe there's something really nice. Hey, Paul. I think there's something really nice about concentrating on the things that you love, but thinking about how can I let other people know that I love them more this week, and how can I let other colleagues and fellow humans, how do we exhibit love more? And maybe that's something I should follow through on this week on Instagram and work out. I'll show you the ways that I've done it, and I go, just simple things, isn't it? I haven't read the news or bought a newspaper for years. A lot of newspapers run stories about friends or people I know that aren't true, and some of them are 100% fabricated, so I kind of think, well, then how am I supposed to trust the rest of it? And the information that we're fed all the time, you have to sort of ask yourself, well, does it affect me? Is there anything I can do? This is really controversial. My grandpa, my dad's dad, didn't vote. He never voted. Hugely controversial. Even more controversial because of his age and his, the sort of time that he came from. And the real controversy is that when you asked him why he didn't vote, he would say, well, it doesn't matter who you vote for because the government always get in. And then they just mess it up. And I thought, there's sort of an interesting point there that, I think I wonder whether, after a little while, we certainly saw it in the last couple of elections, and I'm very neutral when it comes to government, the problem is you inherit all of the previous government's failures and rubbish and the things they only got halfway through, but that's happened for years. I'm not blaming one party or the other, but you can make all the promises you want when you say to somebody, I'm going to make it better this time, because you don't see the whole picture. And I think we're all a little bit guilty of that. And organisations are guilty of that. Conglomerates are guilty of that, governments are guilty of that. We are all guilty of saying, I can do that better, but not having all the information to base that opinion on. The world is full of people who have opinions about things they know nothing about. And that's one of the greatest tragedies, I think, of humanity, is that there are too many people that want to get involved, but don't really know all of the facts, so they can't get involved. And we've had that for years and years and years, with governments saying, yes, but vote us in and we'll get it right, we'll set it straight. And then they don't, they just mess it up because they realise they didn't have all the facts. It's time for some chai. So anyway, that's what these sessions are going to be. They're going to be me cuddled up. They'll be force me to get dressed, because normally on a Sunday I water my plants in my pyjamas and stay in my pyjamas for as long as I possibly can. I'm going to force me to get dressed, so I'll be dressed by 11 o'clock. Next week, I'm going to ask Mr. Wonderful if he would like to join us, so he can ask me questions and we can talk together about stuff. Because you know what, next week I think I might want to talk to you about communication and about relationships. Because I think there are some really interesting things to learn about how we can all form better relationships with people, whether that be your partner, the person you're with, husband or spouse or wife or long-term partner or whatever, or your kids. And so from a sort of behavioural and a psychological perspective, it would be interesting to, I wonder whether these Sunday sessions could be something that we could talk about things that are useful. So they're not necessarily a teaching session, but maybe it's more reflection. There's less, lots of other videos that I've produced of teach stuff. There's very few that I get the opportunity just to kind of talk and reflect and think. So maybe that's what it could be. But listen, here's the thing. It's your 30 minutes, right? It's your time, and I'm hugely respectful of your time. So you should definitely let me know what you want these sessions to be and what you want to include in them and what you want to do. I also might do a very quick Sunday recipe as well, because Sunday used to be a baking day for me and I haven't done baking for quite a long time. So maybe Sunday sessions will include baking, tea, obviously, Mr. Wonderful, and talking a little bit about, stuff. Someone's already said reflection will be better. Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes you don't have to have the answer because we don't ask enough questions. That's why I love being the cat among the pigeons. I love not to intentionally kind of disrupt stuff, but I love to just kind of go in and say, let's throw everything up in the air and see if it lands back where it did. If it lands back where it did, okay, it's Jim. I'll admit it. If it lands back where it did, if it lands back, you know what I mean, right? Then it's okay, everything was fine. But often it doesn't. In fact, almost always it doesn't. And you end up with a different pattern, or things are better because of it, or you think, we didn't need that anyway and we can move on from that or whatever. So sometimes it's good to be the cat among the pigeons. And Karen has said, look at that, setting the tone for the week. That's in the back of my mind, has always been the reason for doing these, because Sunday I think is a really important time. So listen, you've got the rest of today to think about what you want to do this week. Here's my plea. My plea always will be to be kinder to people, right? We have a choice about how we react and respond. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. So the next time somebody makes a mistake, perhaps just accept that they made a mistake. My sort of baseline always has been, did anyone die? Because that's the worst that could happen. So if nobody died, as much as it annoyed you, as much as you probably could have done it better, as much as, there might have been an alternative way that they could have done it that you would have been a little bit easier with, or that might have been better for you or whatever. If nobody died, it could have been a whole lot worse, right? So just accept it for what it is. And so therefore, we get the option, we get the choice to be kinder to people. So this week, please be as kind as you possibly can to yourself as well, but not only other people too. And think about that kind of idea, what we think we become. Because the more... I don't think we often check in enough with ourselves. I think that's the thing. We don't often think, hang on a minute, what am I feeling? Who am I right now? How am I feeling? How am I behaving? We exist, and we think always to the future. In the future, what do I want to do? What am I leading towards? What's my goal? What am I aiming towards? And that's fine. It's really good to have those goals. But it's also critically important that we say, well, how am I behaving right now? And, if we were to sort of stop ourselves and think, okay, how am I actually, I am a bit negative, aren't I? I've just put that person down and I've snapped at them and I've beaten myself up about not doing everything on my to-do list, and I've not done the things I wanted to do, and I feel a bit stressed and I've got work on my back. Hang on a minute, that's not a great place to be. I've got a choice now to make some tweaks and change that. Well, that should be our focus this next week, shouldn't it? To be kinder to ourselves, but to be kinder to other people, and think about what is the one thing that's consuming what we think. Because ultimately, I think that if we can concentrate on thinking about being kind and thinking about loving other people, I think we're home and dry. Happy Sunday, everyone. It's been lovely that so many people have joined. I hope you'll join me next week as well. We'll find a way over the next few weeks to find our feet. I'm going to record this and pop this up on YouTube. So if you want to see it again, you most certainly can. And if you enjoyed it and you thought, there's something in there that I think some other people should look at, then head on over to YouTube. It's at that Jez Rose on YouTube. And we can build a little library of these and together think about something. So have a lovely time. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, I've got to stop it now. This is why Mr. Wonderful should be here. How do you stop it? There'll be a button somewhere. Right? I'm literally on my own in a house with technology that I have no idea to use it. All right, bear with me. There's going to be some clunky stuff. Have a good week. Maybe it's that one? No, that just tells you how long you've been live for. Maybe it's the cross. Maybe the cross? What does that one do? Oh no, that's nothing. I think oh no, I'm still here. How do you stop it? I might just be here forever now. Basically, it's going to be like Jez's live. It started with Jez doing a live on a Sunday at 11 a.m. And then it became like, it's like his whole life is like an Instagram live. He just carries us around all the time. You might press the cross. Thank you, bye.